Hey there guys, and welcome back to a brand new live stream Flick Pick live show. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know where I'm at right now, but I'm glad you guys are joining me right now because I just felt like talking to you guys, interacting. There was a disconnect for the last month or so, and whenever I just edit videos and I sit behind the camera and then I post the video hours later, it doesn't, I don't like that. I like to interact with you guys and just have a very therapeutic experience and just talk about movies, life, and much more. And plus, I'm currently waiting on some clothes to dry right now so I can go to the gym. Yeah, I have a very special hoodie I wear every time I go to the gym, and right now it's currently drying, so that's why we're doing a live stream. So, how are you guys doing? I'm all hyped up. I'm ready to go. There's so much movie news to talk about, so many things. The month of November has kicked my ass. You know, we went like most of the year. There was only like a few great movies that came out, and then in the month of November, it's like great movie, A+ movie, every week, and it's like I can't even keep up. I just put out a Dr. Sleep movie review. Please go watch that. I beg of you, please go watch that review. That's live right now on the Flick Pick channel. But yeah, let's dive into the questions. I'll answer anything and everything. The first one comes from Just Another God. All right, I'll take it. Best foreign film. You know, for me right now, it might be the film Parasite. I'm still doing a movie review. I have it ready to go, but I think that right now is probably my favorite foreign film of all time. So yeah, I will go with that. So yeah, let's dive into the questions. Let's go, champ. We're going, man. I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. Hello from Finland. Have you ever visited Finland or any other Nordic country? No, I have not, but I would love to. It looks beautiful, and I just want to lay on that cold beach all day and stare at the sun. Thoughts on the new Sonic trailer? I did not watch it. I saw the new redesign of... actually, that's a lie. I did watch it. I did watch the new Sonic trailer. That's how memorable it was. I watched it like an hour ago. Yeah, it was cool. I like that they started out in Sonic's like home planet, showing like it actually looked like gameplay footage. But then he doesn't like that because everyone's after him, so then he has to go to planet Earth to hide. And I was just thinking, why can't we just have the movie take place where Sonic takes place? That just seems far more interesting than him going to Boise, Idaho. Like, who wants to watch that shit? Not me. Go back to Sonic Land. I want to see the loops and the gold coins. That looks phenomenal. Thoughts on The Mandalorian? So yeah, that's the big talk of today, The Mandalorian. I'm going to watch it once I get Disney Plus. I currently do not have Disney Plus, but I hope to get it very soon. I think I'm just... let's see, desktop audio. It is muted. Oh, this. There we go. Okay. Does that sound better? All right. So yeah, as far as The Mandalorian goes, I do want to watch it. I'm sort of savoring it right now. I'm too lazy to download Disney Plus. And by the way, does anyone use LG smart TVs? Does the Disney Plus app work on there? I know some other apps don't really work too well. So yeah, I do want to download Disney Plus, but at the same time, I don't want to download it just for one TV show. You know, the thing is, as far as Disney movies go, I have every single Disney movie I like. It's back there on a shelf. I take it, I hold it, I put it into the Blu-ray player, and then I have every movie on Disney Plus that I would ever watch. So yeah, other than like a few TV shows on Disney Plus, I don't really care about any of the Marvel TV shows. I just don't. As much as I try to, and I close my eyes and I think to myself, John, do you care about the Disney Plus Marvel TV shows? I open my eyes and then I say, no, I don't. And then I go on with my life. But Mandalorian actually looks like the version of Star Wars I think we all want to see. What's up, Flickster fans? Thanks, that guy. What's a movie you love but others hate? You know, I don't know. I'm trying to, like, maybe Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I love Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves maybe a little bit too much. The Kevin Costner in that film where he doesn't even try to attempt an English accent. He just sounds like Kevin Costner dressed up in leather hanging out with Morgan Freeman. I love that film. And also, I really love the Three Musketeers film from like 1993, starring Chris O'Donnell and Oliver Platt. Phenomenal movie. No one ever likes it. No one ever talks about that movie. I love it. I grew up with that movie, and I always revisit it once every couple of years. And I want to buy it on Blu-ray so I can rewatch it over and over. Jay the Movie Maker, thanks for the super chat, man. What are your thoughts on Disney Plus change with Han and Greedo? Now Han can't even get the last word in. Yeah, I read something about the change on Disney Plus. Why do they keep tweaking and editing everything Star Wars? Why can't we ever just get what we originally got in the theaters, put onto like 4K Blu-ray or Disney Plus for that matter, so we can actually just enjoy the films as they were presented to be without being manipulated and retouched and remastered and what George Lucas did in 1997, where he went in there and added really shitty 1997 CG where it just looked like a bloated mess in some of the scenes. But yeah, I don't like it. I'm tired of everything being manipulated. I just want the pure form of what Star Wars is. So yeah, I think that's like a detriment. Why keep tweaking everything? Game Battles Kid, thanks for the super chat, man. Have you seen the zombie show Dead Set from Zach? I have not seen the zombie show Dead Set. I have not seen it. But I did save money on my car insurance, and I did see Zombieland 2 Double Tap. Did you guys notice Zombieland 2 Double Tap, a movie that no one really was asking for anymore? It came out just a month ago. No one talked about it. It just faded off into obscurity like it never existed. It felt like it should have just been a Netflix movie. Flatground 900. Thanks for the super chat, man. Have you seen The House That Jack Built? I have not seen that. I've heard things about it. I want to see it, but I have not. Soy sauce. John, are you balding? No, man. I don't think so. I think I'm good to go. I've had the same hairline since I was like 15, so that was like 75 years ago. Q&A, what's your favorite movie poster? Favorite movie poster? That's a tough one. Sometimes in life, there's phenomenal movies, but they don't have the best movie posters. Like the film Collateral. I love that movie. I wish the poster for it was better than just Tom Cruise kind of like this with a black background. But for me, my favorite movie poster of all the time is probably the Dark Knight movie poster right there, that version of it that you see hanging back there. I love the color tone of it. I love the blue teals, the orange, and I just, everything about that. It's like if I was going to design a movie poster, it would just be that. No matter what the movie is. I don't care if it's Forrest Gump Part 2, it's going to be that right there. Russ Rogers, thank you for the super chat. And by the way, thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you. That helps. I appreciate that. Have you seen 8mm 2? If so, what are your thoughts? I have not seen 8mm 2. Holy shit, there's an 8mm 2? What? They should have called it like 16mm or something. I want to watch that. Is it as dirty and grimy as the first 8mm? Because I love that. The first 8mm film to me is like phenomenal. I think it's the most underrated Nick Cage film, and I want to go back and revisit it actually, because every time I watched 8mm, I just felt really dirty inside, and I hated it. Odin's Movie Blog, say my name. I just did. By the way, Odin's Movie Blog, we have a new podcast to shoot for Patreon. We got to do that tomorrow. So if you guys have joined me on Patreon, look out for the brand new episode of the Flickbuster podcast, which is exclusively on Patreon tomorrow. A lot of good topics we're going to talk about, so look out for that over there. Your favorite nipple? George Clooney's bat nipples. I'll take both of them. I can't just decide between the left or the right. I'll take both. Our vids with Stickman in the pipeline. Stickman, aka Stuckman. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we live like 800 miles apart currently, so nothing right now set in stone. What's your favorite Scorsese film? Well, I do need to talk about The Irishman. I did see The Irishman like 2 weeks ago almost, and I've been kind of, I don't know, I've been letting it digest a little bit. I've been thinking a lot about that film before I push record on the camera. So that's one of the next movie reviews coming, is The Irishman. I think my favorite Scorsese film is probably, it might be between Taxi Driver and I really enjoy Wolf of Wall Street. Those are just two movies that just really resonate with me, and they're both almost polar opposite style of films. But I just watched Wolf of Wall Street again the other day, and man, the vitality of Scorsese. Man, you would think Wolf of Wall Street's directed by a guy who's like 35 years old, right? Who's hungry to make it in Hollywood. Who's not, he's gonna say whatever he wants. But no, it's directed by a 70-year-old man, and that's mind blowing to me. So I think Wolf of Wall Street, I've always really enjoyed films about like scummy con artist type criminals. I've always like that just, I don't know why I like that so much. I hate to say that I relate to it, but I really enjoy Wolf of Wall Street. Geek Truth 64, thank you for the super chat. Just a few bucks for the entertainment over the years. Your flip trips always reminded me of home when I was stuck overseas. Keep up the work, man. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I guess overseas, were you visiting? Were you in service? But either way, man, I do appreciate that. Thank you. I do have a brand new flick trip actually coming where I go to see the film Parasite and the critically acclaimed mega box office hit Midway, the new Roland Emmerich film. Poor Midway. No one cares. Do you guys want to talk about Midway for the next 25 minutes? I have a lot to say because I probably am not going to make a movie review for that shit. Zach Sonnenberg asks, have you seen Cobb with Tommy Lee Jones? And thank you for the super chat. I have not seen Cobb with Tommy Lee Jones. I don't believe I have. That doesn't even sound familiar to me. What year did that come out in? Is that new? Yeah, Cobb. I don't think I've seen that. Ryoshi asks, thoughts on the cinematic video games such as recently released Death Stranding. Yeah, I don't play video games anymore. I have not touched a Xbox One controller since like 2015, and I don't miss them. I remember video games for me were just too stressful. They were no longer forms of entertainment. I did not enjoy them. They were just like stressful situations that involved a lot of hand-eye coordination. I remember I used to play Call of Duty all the time, and I don't even remember which one it was. I think it was like the shitty one that everyone hated where you had super jetpacks and you flew around. I hated that. And I just remember like running into a room, right? You're on a kill streak, and you run into a room and there's some like little kid laying on his stomach in the corner of a dark room, and then he just shoots you to death. And I thought to myself two things that day. I thought, you bought this game to go lay down on your belly to shoot people running into a doorway. And then the other thought I had was, it's just a video game. It's okay to run around and get shot. It's not a real life event. You don't really have to hide from gun coverage. So I don't know. I just don't play video games anymore. But as far as actually answering your question, I think it's cool. I like cinematic video games. I think it's like, if you like movies, it's sort of like a virtual reality style of movie where you get to interact with it. So as long as the story is captivating, yeah, I'm all for it. Where am I? Super chat from Front Page Tech, my good pal. I think John Prosser over there. By the way, John Prosser helps me edit some of my audio and my movie reviews. So big shout out to Front Page Tech, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for that. Joshua asks, thoughts on Once Upon a Time Deadpool. I think I watched like the first 15 minutes of that, and I like Fred Savage. I enjoy all of that, but then you start watching it and you realize, oh, this is actually just a PG-13 version of Deadpool. That's enough of that. I'll go watch the rated R version. So the intro was okay, but I mean, it was a smart way to double dip and do another cash grab for the same movie. And for that, I think that was a smart move as far as like a marketing standpoint goes, but I just didn't care about it. Thank you for the super chat, Matthew Davis Media. You didn't ask a question, but shout out to Matthew Davis Media. Thank you. Favorite movie of the year from David? You know, I don't know. I really don't know, because we're getting inundated with so many great movies right at the finish line of 2019. Like, the first half of 2019 was like pretty mediocre for me, and I was like, I don't really love anything that came out. I can't think of which movie would be my favorite movie of the year, but just over the last month, I've seen 5 movies that are phenomenal that could almost compete for my favorite movie of the year, and I still have to see a lot more. You know, we still have to see I still have to see Ford versus Ferrari. We have Star Wars Episode 9. We have the upcoming Cats movie. What else is there? There's some other... Oh, Frozen 2 is coming out, so those are all front runners I'm waiting to see. How would you save the Star Wars franchise? What I would do is I would just pretend like everything that happened over the last 4 years never happened. And I would take something like the tone of The Mandalorian, which I have not watched yet, but just judging by the trailers, I would take that tone and go that route. And I would start fresh. And I think that's what they need to do, because the most disappointing thing that Disney did with the Star Wars franchise, in my opinion, was they had all these great things to work with from the original trilogy. You had Han Solo. You had Luke Skywalker. You had... Princess Leia, you know, you had Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, and you had all these different elements that you had at your disposal. All you had to do is put them competently into one film, and you would have blown everyone's minds away and gave us what we've been wanting to see for, 30 years. But no, they just couldn't do that. They just couldn't do that. They had to sparse each character out. They kill Han Solo in the first movie. Then they whack Luke Skywalker. He just fades into nowhere. And then so it was just like a waste. They just wasted all this momentum and potential. So that was the biggest detriment to me. And I think I answered your question, but if not, let's pretend like I did. Sam Dean, thank you for the super chat. Good day from Melbourne, Australia. Huge fan right here. Can you give us your best effort at an Aussie accent, mate? Cheers, buddy. Stay safe and have fun. Well, thanks, Sam. I could try. Say, mate, you want to get out of here? Talk to me. You want to hear a shitty Aussie accent? Go to the Flick Pick channel. Is that shitty enough for you? The next one comes from Jason Black. Hey, John. Thoughts on James Cameron being a studio suck-up in Terminator 2, now definitely being the best Terminator sequel. Great seeing you back. Well, thanks, Jason. Yeah, James Cameron, here's the thing, guys. James Cameron, he doesn't plan on making another Terminator movie. He doesn't care. And when he has his name as a producer on these shitty Terminator films like Genesis or Dark Flop, he's getting throwbacks for that. So of course he's going to say, yeah, here's my stamp of approval for this mediocre piece of garbage that I want everyone to go watch. Because if he does that, that means more people will go see it, more tickets will be sold, and he'll make more money. Now, I love James Cameron, and I think Terminator 2 Judgment Day is the best action film ever made, and I wish James Cameron was making other films besides 97 Avatar films for the next 25 years. But yeah, he's going to act as a producer, and he's going to try to make that movie as much money as he can by giving it his stamp of approval, when really he had very little to do with either one of them. So... But I am surprised he did that, because it's like, how much more money does James Cameron really need? All right. Odin's Movie Blog donated $5. Well, thanks, Odin's Movie Blog. By the way, check out Odin's Movie Blog on YouTube. Good pal of mine. Cats will be the greatest film of 2019, and you know it. Also, I can help you find a way to watch Mandalorian. Oh, yes, I know all of the ways to watch Mandalorian. Here's the thing about pirating things, or supposedly pirating things on the internet. For me, it's too much work. I hate going to a website that looks like it was created in 1997 by some, like, computer hacker who lives in his mother's basement, and it has like all these pop-ups and buttons, and you just know if you click the wrong one, a virus is going to pop out of your computer screen and suck your soul. And so my thing is, I'm just too lazy to do it. Like, I'd rather just pay the $5. That's, I don't know. I like free shit, but it's too much work almost to watch a free movie. And then what if it has bitrate compression? What if it's compressed? I can't watch that. Russ Rogers with a super chat here. Thank you. Kick-Ass or Deadpool? The movies, not the characters. You know, to be honest with you, I like Deadpool, but Kick-Ass for me is I enjoy watching it more. I have more rewatchability with Kick-Ass. I guess I sort of relate to it a little bit more, and I like the concept of Kick-Ass more than I like Deadpool. I mean, I know people would most likely disagree with that, but the first Kick-Ass movie to me, I remember watching that in the theater like 3 times. I bought it on Blu-ray day one, and I watched it like 20 times, and I love that film. I thought that was a really underrated film, and it's enjoyable, and it doesn't have a huge budget, and it's sort of like a movie. If you would have gave me $30 million and said, hey, make like a superhero funny movie or a parody movie, I think I would have made a movie like Kick-Ass if it was up to me. So I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. And the character of Hit Girl, I mean, that was a great character. That was great at the time. Thoughts on The Irishman? We just talked about that a few minutes ago, and look out for a movie review of The Irishman coming to the Flickpick channel very, very soon. Scorsese or Tarantino? Ooh, that's a tough question. You know, there's so many. First and foremost, I think those are the two most talented directors that are consistent working today, and they typically almost never let me down. I can think of very few Tarantino movies over the last 10 years that I was disappointed by, and I can say the same thing about Scorsese. And those are really the only two directors I think I could honestly say that about. But if I had to pick one, I would just have to say, which of their films do I like more, right? So for me, I think Django Unchained is my favorite Tarantino film, and I would probably say maybe Taxi Driver or Wolf of Wall Street are probably my favorite Scorsese films. But I've watched Django Unchained probably more, so I don't know. I might lean towards Tarantino just a little bit, but it's almost, you can't compare. It's almost an impossibility to compare the two. The next one comes from Flatground 900. Thank you for the super chat. Been watching you for years. Favorite YouTuber by far. All the best from New Zealand. Well, thanks, man. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that, and that does mean a lot, man. Thank you. Ryan King. Tiny misses you dearly. I'm doing my best with him. Ryan King, yes. Let's talk about Ryan King for a second. This guy, he has been making, if you're familiar with my second channel, John Flickinger, where I used to have a little tiny plastic skeleton who was my sidekick in a few videos. Ryan King has now made a spin-off series featuring Tiny Todd and what he's doing now. So thank you for the dedication, Ryan. I did watch them one night. I laughed my ass off. I really enjoyed them. I showed your videos to my girlfriend Amber, and I said, this guy made a spin-off series of a plastic skeleton that I used to feature in some of my videos. I'm like, this is happening. She didn't understand. Dancer... Dance... Irama 6? I can't read. Least favorite film review YouTuber. Thanks, Dancer Irama. Probably, I hate myself. Let's go with the Flick Pick. He sucks. He's inconsistent. He doesn't make enough videos. He's always late on his reviews, and he's a douchebag. No, if I really had to pick one, I don't know. If I really had to pick one, can we go with Lights Camera Jackson? That's my go-to. And now, cue the Lights Camera Jackson scene. Well, I don't know. I just didn't understand it. I'm a stupid little kid. I give Inception a D-. Shut up, Lights Camera Jackson. Shut up. Look what you made me do. Next question. Rob K with the super chat. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Please explain. Die Hard's whatever you want it to be if you just close your eyes and you think hard enough. It takes place at Christmas. And the cool thing is to say it is a Christmas movie. But really, on Christmas Day, are you gonna watch Die Hard? Like, I'll watch that movie any other time, but on Christmas Day, you're gonna watch Home Alone 2 because you want to look at the pigeon lady, cold and sad outside, as Kevin McAllister comes down from his nice hotel suite and hands her a turtle dove. Oh, thanks, Kevin. It's 25 degrees outside. It's Christmas. I'm starving. I smell like bird shit. But thanks for the turtle dove, Kevin. Now go back up to your penthouse suite up in the sky with your beautiful family and all your Christmas gifts as I stand down here with a fucking turtle dove, Kevin McAllister. I love that movie. And I would have gave her a turtle dove, too. It's like, why don't you get a job? Now, somebody please take the scene of the pigeon lady in Home Alone 2 and insert the clip of American Psycho Patrick Bateman saying that. So, Rob K, was that enough of an explanation? I think I answered something there. Shane Palmer, thank you for the super chat. You missed my super chat before, Russ Rogers. I answered a super chat earlier by Russ Rogers. I answered it. I'm pretty sure I did. And the questions are flying by so quick, it's hard for me to see everything, but I'm going back and forth reading them all. So if I missed it, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure I answered it earlier. Excited for Godzilla vs. Kong? I sort of am. You know, I don't think the last Godzilla film did anything to get me excited, and I don't think the last King Kong film did anything to get me excited. They sort of both feel like movies just going through the motions. But to see Godzilla fight King Kong, I think would be great. Who's directing that, by the way? I'm not even sure who's directing it. The concept sounds great, but I'm surprised they're still going through with it because Godzilla didn't make a lot of money, did it? Godzilla King of the Monsters, did that make a lot? I thought that did just barely okay. The Departed. Yes, The Departed. Great movie. No one really talks about The Departed anymore when we're talking about Scorsese. Yeah, 2006, The Departed. I loved that. Flick Pick is Chad from Friday the 13th. I'll take it. I don't care. I'm more like Tommy in all reality. Excited for Rise of the Skywalker. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, guys, I'm not gonna sit here and try to be cool and edgy. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. You know, it's a Star Wars movie. It's a spectacle. You know, it's an event, right? Do I wish I was more excited and I actually cared? Yes, absolutely. But I am excited to watch the movie. You know, it's a movie that I'm gonna go steal. I'm gonna go buy some Sour Patch Kids, put them in my pocket, buy a popcorn, a large soda, some ice cubes. I know the whole thing is to say 3 ice cubes, no more, no less, but when you're watching a 2-hour movie in a theater, drinks get warm, so you need more ice cubes than that. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it. Am I going to like it? That's to be determined. Killian Long, you and Chris ever think of touring, chatting with the audience about film, and coming to Ireland? Keep it up, man. You're reaching here, man. Yeah, thanks, Killian. That is the most Irish name it's such an Irish name. I wish my name was Killian. Sounds like a man's name. Sounds like you could throw a battle axe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we ever thought about touring. I think the scariest thing is, like, if you go to a live audience, you just hope someone would show up, right? I'm afraid no one's ever even going to watch my videos when I post one. So actually, like, going to a place where people are supposed to attend and 2 people show up, I don't know if I could handle that kind of rejection. But I mean, the concept sounds great. I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. Awesome Spuds MC, thank you for the super chat. I know where you live. Well, then come knock on my door, but if you do so, bring a large pizza and some Diet Coke. All right. Wild Hog 84. Who else would you like to see in the Batman movie now that we know Harvey Dent is in it? Well, we know we have the Riddler. We know we're going to have the Penguin. We know Harvey Dent's in the movie. You know, for me, I think with every Batman film, you definitely need someone that can bring the physicality. Not only the psychological, but the physicality is what I've always enjoyed when you have a Batman villain. So something like Bane, but I don't think they're going to throw Bane into the mix just yet. So I don't know. I would really have to think about it. I would like more of a physical presence in one of these films. It doesn't have to be a major villain. It just maybe like a sub-villain of the film. I think Batman actually needs to go toe-to-toe with someone. I was really excited when they were going to put Deathstroke into the upcoming DC universe to go up against Batman possibly. That afterthought that we got in Justice League, but unfortunately that doesn't seem like it's going to come to fruition. So I would just like a physical villain. Maddie D for 3. Thank you for the super chat. What's your favorite Friday the 13th film? I would probably say, I keep hitting this. I will say this before I answer the question. I've always enjoyed Jason Takes Manhattan, or Jason Goes to Manhattan, whatever it's called. Jason Takes Manhattan. Or I know it's terrible. The movie's like an hour and 20 minutes long. It's like the most desperate attempt at making a feature-length film. But I really enjoy it when Jason's, even though he's mostly on a boat, most of that movie takes place on a boat going to Manhattan, but like 20 minutes of it take place in Manhattan. And the scene where Jason Voorhees is walking down the sidewalk and there's like the dude's listening to the boombox and he just like destroys it. I love that. And I also really enjoy the scene where he punches the guy's head off and it rolls down the gutter. But with that said, I would probably say I enjoy the one, what is it, Friday the 13th? Which one has the adult version of Tommy? I just watched it like a few weeks ago. Is that part 4? I think it's 4, right? And I also like the one with young Corey Feldman. He looks disgusting with his head shaved, though. Ugh. What do you think of Rammstein's new album? Yeah, I've listened to a few songs of it. I actually have it on Spotify. I downloaded just a few songs of it. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. But I like it. Rammstein is like an awesome middle industrial German band, and whenever you're in the gym working out, you put some Du Hast on, you're going to lift those weights, throw them at a small child, punch a hole through the mirror, and scream until you get arrested. That's what Rammstein can do for you in the gym. So I've only listened to a few songs, but I like it. I like how there's sort of like an electronic vibe to some of them. I can't name them. I don't remember them, the names of the songs, but I do like it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, another great Tarantino movie, man. I forgot that even came out until just now. Yes, that's in the running for my favorite movie of the year as well. I don't think it's going to be my favorite movie of the year, but it's definitely probably in the top 3 or 4. I'm telling you, when I watched the movie, when I watched The Lighthouse and I watched Parasite, I was like, whoa, that was unexpected. Thank you, 2019. Favorite DCEU movie? Probably Man of Steel. I don't think Man of Steel gets the credit that it deserves. I think that's the one movie, the one comic book movie from the DCEU that sort of took itself really serious. And I enjoyed it, and I don't really have that many complaints about it. Like, I mean, is it the Superman movie I think most people wanted to see? Maybe not, but it's the one that I wanted to see, and I really enjoyed that movie. Batman is behind you. Yes, he's a watchful guardian, a protector of the night who sits in the corner over there. Would you consider reopening the P.O. box? Maybe, possibly. I might. I don't know. Right now, I just don't. It costs money, and the other thing is like, it's sort of a hassle to deal with, and people send cool stuff, but at the same time, they send a lot of stuff that I don't have room for. So I feel like it's not fair for people to send stuff, and I can't really do anything with it. So that's why I don't have a PO box right now. Rant about Sonic. I'm glad they listened to the fans. To rant about something, I would have to care about it, and it's a Sonic movie. You know, it's a CG blue character from a popular video game series stemming back to the 1990s on Sega, and I don't know. I'll watch the movie, but it still looks like a children's adaptation film based on a video game character. I don't know how great can you make a Sonic film, right? So I just wish they would make actually a really good Super Mario Brothers film. Imagine being a kid, loving Super Mario Brothers, playing Super Mario World all day on your SNES, and you go to the theater back in 1992, and you watch a film with John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins in it, and you ask yourself, what is this, a giant booga or something? It's such a terrible movie. Make one of those, Hollywood, and make one good. Dave N asks, favorite T2 quote, 3 ice cubes, no more, no less. Thank you for the super chat, Dave. If I had to pick a favorite T2 quote, I don't know. Let me think. Let me think. God, I don't know. Promise me you're not gonna kill anyone by John Connor. That might be one of my favorite. That might be my favorite line from the movie. Cyberdyne Systems comes online July 7th, 1997. That might be my second favorite quote. What else is there in that film? There's so many quotes I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with promise me you're not going to kill anyone. Just because the way Edward Furlong's little prepubescent voice delivers that. Hey John, what is your Flickmobile? My Flickmobile is a Dodge Caliber from 2011. Hey, yeah, I need to get a new car. It's falling apart. Recent Blu-ray / 4K pickups. Yeah, speaking of that, guys, at the end of this live stream, I actually will do a live Blu-ray collection video update where I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of new Blu-rays and 4K movies that I've received over the last month or two. So stay tuned for that at the very end of this stream. So if you guys want a new Blu-ray movie collection update video, that's what you're going to get. Have you watched the show Watchmen yet? I have not watched it yet. It's just like there's too many shows right now, and I'm sort of like, I think I'm at the point because that's a weekly episodic show, so you can't just binge watch every episode of it. So I think what I might do with shows like Watchmen or possibly The Mandalorian, I might watch The Mandalorian on a weekly basis, is I might just wait till they all come out and just binge watch them in one day and then just get it over with. Wild Hog 84, Jingle All the Way or Kindergarten Cop. It's not a tumor. I'm probably gonna say I think Kindergarten Cop is the better movie, but for me it's Jingle All the Way, man. I watch it every Christmas and I really love it. So Jingle All the Way. It's just the most bizarre movie of all time. I did a movie review for Jingle All the Way 2 Christmases ago, and I wish more people would watch that review because I really gave my true thoughts on Jingle All the Way, and I talk about how Sinbad's character basically commits acts of terrorism for a toy, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the movie, Jamie gives him his Turbo Man doll, so all is okay. Russ Rogers with another super chat. Favorite Kevin Smith film? I'm still waiting to watch the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie, which is playing in like 5 theaters. Favorite Kevin Smith, I will probably say my favorite Kevin Smith films in the Askew universe are the Clerks movies, and I'm really glad they're making a Clerks 3 finally. They got it together and they're going to make it, and Jeff Anderson, who plays Randall in those films, is coming back. But for me, I think I'd probably go with the first Clerks movie because that to me, I've said this a few times already in this chat, relatability and rewatchability in movies is one of my biggest things. And the first Clerks movie is like, it seems like a day in my life. Like, I've worked jobs that are similar to that, and that's what me and my friends used to do. We just barely do our jobs. We talk about movies all day. We never went on top of the gas station to play hockey, but we did leave work for other things. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the first Clerks movie. Thoughts on Bad Boys for Life? Does anyone care? And the other thing is, like, you watch the trailer for Bad Boys for Life, and like Martin Lawrence, he looks so different, right? It almost doesn't look fun anymore. Like, Will Smith still looks like active, but Martin Lawrence, not so much. I don't know. I hated Bad Boys 2. I remember watching that in theaters thinking, like, this is a big bloated piece of shit. But I like the first Bad Boys movie. All right. Shane Palmer. Thoughts on Midway? Fourth time is a charm, truly. Yeah, Shane Palmer, thank you for the super chat. Midway. I did go to see the movie last week. I actually went to a press screening of that movie. And I will include my more thoughts on the film Midway in an upcoming Flick Trip video, which should be coming in like maybe 2 days, where I go to see that and Parasite. That was my double feature. I saw both movies back to back. Could you imagine watching Parasite and Midway back to back? Yeah. So Midway. Here's what I'm going to say about Midway. It's a much more entertaining and more competent and less bloated, obnoxious film than Pearl Harbor, though it does share a lot of similar traits. And it's like the most substandard Roland Emmerich movie you've ever seen. Like, it fits exactly how all of his other movies fit. He always has 5 different subplots happening, revolving around one big event, and some of them just dwindle off into obscurity. Like, you get introduced to characters like Aaron Eckhart in Midway. You see his character go through some things, and then he just dissipates to nowhere for the rest of the movie. It's like, okay, what was the point of any of that? I did enjoy some of the action sequences with, whenever you see dogfights with fighter pilots up in the sky with battleships, it's fun. It's entertaining. At times it does look sort of like a high budget video game, but I enjoyed all of that. There was like one story I was sort of interested in. I think the character's name was like Dick Best. Yeah, that was his real name, Dick Best. If I did porn, that would be my porn name. But I liked his character, but outside of that, it was just like the most forgettable movie that should have come out in like 1998. Clint Cochran. Thank you for the super chat, Clint. What's up, man? I've been a fan of your channel for a long time. Batman is my favorite superhero, and I was wondering your thoughts on the new Batman movie. Yeah, I've talked about this movie a few times over the last few months, and I'm excited. I want it to be great. I think we have a competent director who's going to make visually the Batman movie that I want to see. It's going to have that film noir vibe, and I think some of the casting choices are interesting. Some of them aren't as inspired as I would have liked. And I'm hoping it isn't just like an okay movie. Like, oh, that wasn't bad. It was good. But I want a phenomenal Batman movie. I want someone who's going to really elevate it and try to blow audience members away. But I like the tone so far. I think it's the direction that the Batman franchise should go in. And I have some theories and thoughts relating to the upcoming Batman universe of things and also the Joker universe that we just got. And I feel like they might ever so be connected. At least I hope they are. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I need some visuals. I need them to release like the first photo of Robert Pattinson in the bat suit to really like get the vibe that they're going for visually. Dancerama 6 thoughts on this streaming era we're stuck in. Sorry, I'm dying. Everything's a streaming service, right? I mean, we're streaming right now, and I'm providing a service. Except I don't charge you $5.99 a month. So yeah, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, hey, it's better than cable. Cable sucks, right? So the only thing is, I wish more everything's so divided and separated. You have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Amazon Prime, you have Disney Plus. You're coming out with the whatever it's called, the HBO, Warner Brothers, whatever that streaming service is called. So you have 85 streaming services. And by the time you get 4 or 5 of them, you're spending like $60 a month or $50 a month. That's the only thing I don't like. It's so divided and separated, and studios are taking certain movies or catalog titles from this studio and placing it on this streaming service, and Disney has all their movies in one place. And I just wish there was one inclusive place where you could watch everything. But it's great though. It's convenient, right? But at the same time, and I've been saying it for years, listen, guys, you can't rely on streaming services. You can only get what they're going to give you, right? So if you want everything at your disposal, you buy a movie shelf, you buy a whole bunch of movies, and you put it on it. And guess what? Anytime I want to watch a movie I like, I just go grab one of these. But to be honest with you, I'm too lazy, and I just go watch whatever is on Netflix because I'm honestly too lazy to open up a case and put it in there. Like, that's the sad truth. That's where my life has finally come to. And if you agree, let me know in the comments right now. All right, the next super chat comes from Tony Movied 9 Mendez. Thoughts on Martin Scorsese saying that Marvel movies, cinema, and theme park rides are okay, you forgot the word are Marvel cinema and theme park rides, and Francis Ford Coppola calling them despicable. I think what Martin Scorsese was saying was sort of like an extreme. I think, if you're going to compare, say, something like, I don't know, Black Panther to Taxi Driver, right? There's definitely more cinematic integrity to the film Taxi Driver. But I don't completely agree with what he's saying, because there are cinematic and real stories being told in some of the Marvel films. Now, some of them aren't that great, but some are. And, I don't think that's exactly what he meant in context of it. I think someone sort of took it out of context, in my opinion. But, it's Martin Scorsese, right? The man is a visionary. You can take just about any one of his movies, and it is artistically more inspiring, and there's more craftsmanship, I would say, goes into some of his storytelling than just about any Marvel film. So if anyone can make a comment like that, I would say it's him. He's earned the right to do that, even if you agree or disagree with it. But I think it's a little bit unfair of a comment. Yeah. I feel like I was being way too politically correct with that answer. I'm sorry if I was. No matter what I say, somebody will take it out of context and call me a sellout. Gwenex, I can't read. Been watching you till Oblivion review. Don't get scared now. Got a lot of fun out of your videos over the years. Keep it up, man. Also, my name is Morgan Freeman. Don't look at it, eat it. Well, thank you for the super chat, and I will give you that quote right now just for you. My name is Morgan Freeman. Don't just look at it, eat it. I know that was bad. I know. Hateful Mate. Hello, Jonathan. Rank your girlfriends. Thank you for the super chat. Gosh. The one I have now is number 1, best of all time. I'll do a top 10 every year. Top 10 best, top 10 worst. Oh my God. Thank you for the question. Physical media forever. Yes, I agree. I'll skip a few of those. Avengers Infinity War still the best, hands down. Oh, I agree. Avengers Infinity War is the best Marvel film ever made. I mean, it's by far the best. It gives you everything you need. It ends on a downer, which is what I love so much about it. You know, all the reasons I enjoy Infinity War are all the same reasons why I think Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. You know, the bad guy finally wins. Thank you. Yes, that's what I wanted. So yeah, I do agree with you on that. What are the essential movies you think everyone should see? Well, I think films like Nightcrawler, films like Wolf of Wall Street, films like The Shawshank Redemption. You know, I could go on and on all day and name some of my favorite quintessential movies of all time. But yeah, I just go with those. Rando Commando 41, favorite non-Batman Nolan film. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the super chat, man. Favorite Nolan film is probably outside of the Dark Knight trilogy. I would probably go with The Prestige. I think that's so underrated. I love that film. I think there's a lot of rewatchability to it, even if a lot of people would disagree. The funny thing about The Prestige was, even though the first time I watched it back in like 2004, 5? No, it came out 2006, right? Prestige came out in 2006. I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, I picked up on what the twist was going to be right away. But yeah, I would probably say The Prestige. Right outside of that might be maybe Inception. I'd go with those. Killian Long. Always wanted your thoughts on The Lord of the Rings. Killian Irishman. Also, if you could say Cork is better than Limerick, it's an Irish territory thing. Cork is better than Limerick? Yeah. Cork for life. Yeah, thoughts on Lord of the Rings. You know, the thing is, you guys everyone's gonna hate me. I'm not a diehard Lord of the Rings fan. I'm not. I've watched all the movies. I watched them all a few times. I get them. I enjoy the fantastical elements and the journey and the friendship, but they're just not like my favorite movies of all time. There's little things about them that I'm just like, okay, that's cool, but that's not really for me. But I think Gollum's a great character. You know, there's a lot of epic moments in them. I love the scores and the visuals, but you know, they're not exactly my types of films. And that's not to say I don't like fantasy. I just like a little more edge in my fantasy. You know, I guess I'm more of like a Game of Thrones fantasy type fan. Cesar Maguada. What's your favorite 4K you own or that you want? My favorite 4K movie, I would say, is probably Mad Max Fury Road, which actually was shot in 2K, which is sort of unfortunate, right? But it looks great on 4K. I would say that's like my favorite one. I think Gladiator looks great on 4K. There's a lot of great looking 4K movies, and there's a lot that I really want. Like, I would love Nightcrawler on 4K. I'm waiting for that to actually happen at some point. Tell me, do you bleed? My eyeballs bled after I watched the Justice League. Thoughts on the Scream 5 announcement? Did anyone like Scream 4? I mean, how excited can we possibly get? Okay, Clint Cochran. Did I already answer this? Okay, Clint Cochran asks with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Clint. I got another question for you, dude. Do you think Robert Pattinson could actually play Batman? I mean, this is a Twilight guy at the end of the day. Yeah, but it's also the guy who started one of my favorite movies of the year, The Lighthouse, as a a lighthouse keeper who likes mermaids, maybe a little bit too much. Hell yeah, I think he can play Batman. I really do. If you've watched films like Good Time, you'll know this guy can act in like an edgy rated R film. The only thing I have with Robert Pattinson is the acting ability is definitely there. My biggest issue is Clint Cochran. You missed my 2 super chats, dude. No, I'm reading them right now, Clint. I'm reading them right now. I saw them. My biggest issue with Robert Pattinson playing Batman, or any superhero role for that matter, is I think there needs to be a believability with the physicality. Robert Pattinson looks like he weighs 175 pounds, and I need him to go to the gym, take some human growth hormone, some extra testosterone, all the supplements he can take, a little bit of extra pre-workout, 3 bags of creatine before he goes to bed, and 2 scoops of pre-workout, or not 2 scoops of pre-workout, 2 scoops of whey protein 6 times a day. I think if Robert Pattinson just buffed up and bulked up for the role of Bruce Wayne Batman, I think he could be the best incarnation we've had yet, or at least a really good Batman. But then again, in all fairness, Michael Keaton weighed like 180 pounds, and when you saw him in the Batsuit back in 1989 and 1992, I was like, that's Batman. That looks great. So, I mean, the suit can do a lot of favors. But I really thought, as far as like a physicality goes, I thought Ben Affleck's version of Batman was like the most intimidating. Nathan Oswald, thank you for the super chat. Any more planned Hilariosity collabs with Stuckman? Not anytime soon, but maybe next time we meet up and collab, that's definitely a possibility. Those are always really fun to do. And Clint, I think I already answered this. I get very confused when I'm reading the questions here, but Clint asked about the Batman film, and we talked about that extensively. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for it. I just need to see a trailer or some kind of imagery from the movie to get super pumped about it. Thoughts on The Crow? I liked The Crow. I never loved it, but I thought it was always sort of an entertaining take on films. I remember watching The Crow actually on cable back when it first came out, and it was so dark and gloomy, and it sort of, I guess it kind of scared me as a kid. Shane Palmer asks, hey man, thanks for answering my questions. You rock. Well, you rock too, Shane Palmer, and thank you. Thank you, man. And thank all of you for coming here and looking at my stupid face as I answer your questions. Oh, by the way, steady hands, steady hands. By the way, this is exclusively available at my Redbubble store, link down below. Maybe the link's down below, I'm not sure. No Terminator review? I'm working on my Terminator. Hang on. I have notes and notes for a Terminator Dark Fate review. I promise you it is coming. You will like the review. It's going to be done in a slightly different format than my normal reviews, but I have a lot to say about that movie, and I will say it. Stephen Mazur, is Nightcrawler your favorite film of all time? Is Nightcrawler my favorite film of all time? I don't know. It might be in my top 2 or 3. It really is. When I think about a film that really connects and gives me everything I want to see in a movie, with that dark comedy, and it has action elements, and it actually has a story that's really intriguing to me, I think Nightcrawler hits all those things perfectly on the John Flickinger scale of what makes a movie entertaining to me. So Nightcrawler could possibly be my favorite movie of all time. I don't know. It might be. But thank you for the super chat, Steven. The next one comes from Dancerama6. Thank you for the super chat. Love you, John. Worst movie of the decade. Fuck me. The Fanatic, maybe? Maybe The Fanatic. I don't know if that's the worst or best movie of this decade, actually. It could possibly be the worst movie. that I actually sat through and watched, that I would consider like you could say Birdemic Part 5 is like the worst movie, but I think of movies where they actually thought they were making a good movie. They hired real talent. I mean, I don't know if you could call Fred Durst a director real talent, but they hired John Travolta. He's like a real actor, even though he'll do any movie that you put in front of him. And I think of movies like, so maybe The Fanatic, that could, off the top of my head, I might go with that movie. Like, it's just like, how did this get made? Poppycock. If you haven't seen the movie, you think I'm weird, but trust me. Best Batsuit. I actually really enjoyed Affleck's Batsuit in Batman v Superman. I didn't like the version that we got in the Justice League, but yeah, the Batsuit from Batman v Superman I thought was great. That's what I wanted to see. Lucas Bernashewitz. I'm sorry. You know I can't read. Please give us your Buffalo Bill. Okay. Okay, I got to warm up for the Buffalo Bill. It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the fucking lotion in the basket. Oh! All right, let's go to the next question. Worst movie of 2019 so far. Gosh, give me some of your worst movies of 2019. Comment them right now and I'll read through them, because sometimes when I see bad movies, I sort of block them out of my brain. So yeah, you guys can comment some of the worst movies of 2019 so far, and I'll go through and I'll talk about them in the comment section. John, I'm going bald. Please help. What do you want me to do? Lick the top of your head? I don't know, man. Start using alopecia and Rogaine right now. But hey, bald is sexy, man. Vin Diesel. There you go. Russ Rogers, least favorite Michael Bay film. Thank you for the super chat, Russ Rogers. Least favorite Michael Bay. I think Pearl Harbor is my least favorite Michael Bay film. When I think of a Michael Bay movie that I cannot even get through like the first 20 minutes, it's probably Pearl Harbor. I think that is his worst film he's ever made. It's like an abomination. Like even his other movies that are bloated garbage stains, I at least can find entertainment value in them, but not Pearl Harbor. But with that said, you should watch The Island. The Island is actually a good Michael Bay movie. Oh, Hellboy, the 2019 version. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Rambo, yeah, that wasn't very good either. The more I think about that movie, the less I like it. Men in Black. I didn't even watch it. I did not even watch the new Men in Black movie. That's how much I just knew I couldn't do it. Thoughts on the upcoming Dune remake? Looks good. Great director. I never loved the original Dune movie. I thought that it's pretty hard to get through, but maybe the remake can blow us all away. I mean, the guy, look what he did with Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, I think it could be a phenomenal sci-fi film. Dark Phoenix. Oh, so many things to say about Dark Phoenix. So many things. Captain Marvel for the worst movie of 2019. Definitely one of the worst Marvel films, that's for sure. Like, no one cares. I don't know how anyone likes that movie. Like, it's okay not to hate it, but to actually say you love Captain Marvel, like, what do you like about it? Daniel Coloho, thank you for the super chat, Daniel. Big fan, dude. Scorsese versus Tarantino, who wins? We actually talked about that earlier for like 10 minutes, and I think I'm going to lean towards just my personal preference. I think I don't know. Damn it. Now I'm confused again because I actually think I like more Scorsese films than Tarantino movies. It's too tough. It's too tough. They both do their own thing and they do it amazingly. I will say this. I just think they're the best two directors right now working. I like Captain Marvel. Of course you do. Kim King of the Hills 34. Here's $2. Thanks for streaming. Well, thank you, man. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Thank all of you guys. Thank you guys for the super chats. It means a lot. I really do appreciate it. It makes YouTube possible because YouTube hates me, and the YouTube algorithm hates me even more. All right, let's answer a few more questions, and then I will dive into the live Blu-ray collection update video where I share a whole bunch of new movies that I've gotten over the last couple months. Do you think Superman's a boring character? I don't think Superman's a boring character, but I mean, he's sort of a Boy Scout in many ways. I think the biggest detriment to Superman is he doesn't really have. He can do anything, right? Superman can fly. He's invincible. And I think when you have an invincible character, well, it's sort of like, well, what's at jeopardy here? I mean, sure, we can throw some kryptonite at the guy, but if you don't have any kryptonite, well, how does he ever lose? So I sort of like, that's why I've always related like Batman. I think he's just a much more interesting character because, you know, if you gave me $5 billion and a butler, I could be Batman. Like, I will die within 12 hours of being Batman, but I could walk around in the suit. I have no fighting ability. But I could sort of look like Batman. I could at least be a symbol of justice. Favorite John Carpenter film? I'm going to say the first Halloween film, and then I'm going to say Escape from New York are my two favorite John Carpenter films. I especially love the atmosphere and the tone of Escape from New York. And I love the electronic music. Like, it's just like the perfect nighttime theme or score that he put into that film. And Snake Plissken, what a badass. Jesus, that's such a great film. Could you imagine someone like Tarantino making a remake of Escape from New York? How amazing that could be. That would be I want to see that movie. Lucas Burn as Ickwix. Favorite Scorsese film in your opinion? Taxi Driver, then Wolf of Wall Street. I also really enjoy Casino. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I've sort of always enjoyed Casino a little bit more than Goodfellas. That's just my thing. Casino had Sharon Stone in it, looking perfect. Russ Rogers, please say, "The dude abides, it will bring me joy." The dude abides. Well, hey man, there's a beverage here. Dan Carriage, thank you for the super chat, Dan, much appreciated. Have you seen The Irishman? Yes, I did see The Irishman. I saw it 12 days ago. And I will do a movie review very soon. I will say I really enjoyed the movie, and I watched it in probably the most uncomfortable location ever. When I went to see The Irishman, I actually went to, the only place it was playing was 2 hours away at an art house theater. And art house theaters always have the most uncomfortable theater chairs you could possibly ever imagine. So I'm in this little cheap theater chair that sets up like this. It's this wide. And I watched a 3.5 hour movie. But the thing is, I will say this about the film The Irishman. I didn't even you don't even realize how uncomfortable the chair is once you're like fully immersed into the movie. Rando Commando 41, thank you for the super chat. Movie you didn't like the first viewing, but now you do. Drive. I watched Drive the first time in a theater, and I was like, I don't love this movie. It's so weird and bizarre. But I didn't really like it, but I knew there was something about it that I wanted to see again. So I bought it on Blu-ray and I fell in love with the movie. Like, I think it was so different than what I was expecting it to be. I had never really seen a movie like that. So I'd go with Drive. Dan Carriage, thank you for the super chat. What's your favorite horror movie that isn't as popular in today's times? Favorite horror film that's not as popular in today's times. I don't, I think maybe Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, that might be one. Yeah, I would go with that. I think that's one of my favorite horror films of the 1980s. Maddie D for 3. Thank you for the super chat. Have you signed up for Disney Plus yet? Not yet. I'm honestly too lazy to download the app to do it. That's the biggest problem right now. And what am I going to go watch on it besides The Mandalorian? Blank Check? Like, what else do I want to watch on it? Indiana Jones? I have all these movies. So besides like The Mandalorian, there's nothing really else I'm dying to see on Disney Plus. Review El Camino, damn it! I enjoyed it. I enjoyed El Camino. I thought it was good. It was a nice visit back to the Breaking Bad universe. I don't feel like the movie really said anything new. It was sort of like going to see an old friend, right? And they're not going to say anything new. Everything's the same, but it's fun just to see them once again. That's how I felt about El Camino. Like, it was really enjoyable. But essentially, if the movie was never made, it's sort of like what I would have assumed the same outcome for Jesse Pinkman without seeing El Camino. Geek Truth 64, thank you for the super chat. Geek Truth. Lion King, most pointless 2019. I agree. Dark Phoenix, best nap 2019. Captain Marvel, best movie to skip 2019. Terminator Dark Fate, this is 2019. I would agree with all those opinions. I can agree with that. Yeah, the Lion King movie. What did they have to say with that? The voice acting was atrocious in that film. It's like switching things up for the sake of switching them up, but downgrading. What's your favorite martial arts movie? Three Ninjas. Sidekicks, starring Chuck Norris. I don't know. I really don't know what my favorite martial arts movie is of all time. You know what? How about... Does Mortal Kombat count? Maybe, how about Lionheart, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme from the early 1990s? Mad Fella Duke, what is your favorite Australian movies, if you have any? I don't know. Name some Australian movies. I'm searching. I mean, a lot of movies are made in Australia, but I don't know if they consider them Australian movies. I mean, I know production companies go there to film sometimes. There actually, one of my least favorite movies of all time actually was made in Australia. I forget what it was called. It came out in like maybe 2003 or 4, and it was based on like true events of these people, these like unlikable, stupid people, and they drive to see like a crater, and there's this guy in the outback who like hunts people and kills them. What was that movie called? It took place in Australia. Maybe Rescuers Down Under. Does that count? Wolf Creek, yes, Wolf Creek is the movie. It was right there. I knew. Okay, yes. I hate Wolf Creek. So there's an Australian movie I don't like. Mad Max is Australian. So stupid, John. Gosh. Yes, Mad Max. I'm sorry. Yes. I would probably say Mad Max Road Warrior is my favorite Australian film ever made. Now, you could probably... I know the majority of Mad Max Fury Road was actually shot in Africa. So, I mean, some of it might have been shot in Australia, but a lot of it was shot in Africa. I know that. But yeah, thank you, yes. Road Warrior is probably my favorite Australian film ever made. All right. All right, guys, let's dive into the Blu-ray movies I picked up over the last couple weeks. I'm gonna take like a 30-second break just to get something else to drink, and then I'm gonna dive into a whole pile of Blu-ray movies, and we'll talk all about that, and I'll read your comments. It'll be a good time. So if you guys need to go pee or grab something to drink or grab some more Sour Patch Kids, whatever you want, I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Okay, let's take a quick break. Okay, we're back. Hope you guys are back now. And yeah, I have a whole bunch of movies here I want to talk about, and some other things. And before we dive into these guys, I have a question for you guys, a favor almost to ask of you. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, all I ask is you give this live stream a thumbs up, because unfortunately YouTube hates me, the algorithm hates me. And I know I get messages all the time. Hey, John, I see you make videos, but guess what? I'm not even subscribed to you anymore because YouTube unsubscribed me and I don't get your videos in my sub box. So I beg of you, I plead with you. Yeah, if you have 2 seconds, just like the video, push the thumbs up button. It does really help, so I'd appreciate that. And I love all of you. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right, guys. So these are all the Blu-ray movies that some studios sent to me over the last month or two. And the first one I want to talk about is this movie right here, Crawl. Now, some people like this movie. Some other people say this is sort of like a mediocre movie. I will watch this movie. I have not watched it yet. I have not been in the, like, it's like, I just don't care about an alligator attacking people in a storm. Like, the concept sounds fun, like a nice B-rate movie, but I just have not had time to dedicate to watching it. So yeah, I will watch it though. So Crawl, what did you guys think about this movie? And the coolest thing is they sent me a little box of goodies to really get me hyped up for the movie. They sent me this little foam alligator. I'll let my dog chew on that later. They also sent me a flashlight. Here's a flashlight they sent me. That sort of works sometimes. But that's useful. It says Crawl on it. What else did they send me? Oh, they sent me this little bag I can put stuff in. And they sent me goggles, which I will put on right now. They sent me a pair of swimming goggles. That way, if I'm ever in a storm, I can have goggles. Which, hey, I'm not complaining about any of this. It's some cool swag. What the fuck is it? It has a sticker on it. There we go. Okay. So I will put the goggles on. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Studio who sent me Crawl? Make a mockery out of me? But the coolest thing they sent me was they sent me some alligator jerky. Now that gets me hyped. I get to eat alligator jerky. And then next, another studio sent me Jarhead: Law of Return. I didn't know they made a Jarhead sequel. Now, I actually like the original Jarhead with Jake Gyllenhaal. I think it's kind of like a fun military movie that takes place during Desert Storm. As far as the sequel goes, I know nothing about it. I don't know. Did anyone watch this? Do you like it? A few super chats real quick. Actually, these are sucking my eyeballs out of the sockets. I can see better without them on. Steven Stannerforth, thank you for the super chat, Steven. Who is the next big legacy character from any franchise that will be killed off in a sequel just to be replaced by a woman? I'm surprised Batman's still called Batman. I will be honest with you. But then again, you have the Batwoman TV show that's failing miserably because I don't think anyone wants to watch that. So yeah, as far as, I don't know, in all honesty, I'm not sure. I'm just glad Ghostbusters will be dudes once again. Like, I think at least we have that. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I don't even like to think about it. The next one I got was Addams Family and Addams Family Values, and here's maybe a weird, bizarre opinion. I've always sort of preferred Addams Family Values, the sequel, a little bit more than the first one. I just think there's more fun things to be had, and I really love the sequences where you have Wednesday, she goes to summer camp, and she just hates everyone, and the one girl's drowning, and she just looks at her. I love it. It's just so many. I think it's a funnier movie, the sequel. So yeah, Addams Family. I actually don't own these on Blu-ray, so that's good to have. I didn't watch this around Halloween, but next Halloween I will. Another super chat. The average adept. Don't get scared now, but I get off to your videos. The next one. Thanks, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's called dedication. See, and thank you. Thank you for that. I am scared now, though. All right, the next one comes from Warner Brothers. It's The Wizard of Oz 4K. Now, I love The Wizard of Oz. Always loved it. Probably my favorite musical, right beside Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm sorry. Wait, which one's which? Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, that's the original. Whichever one Tim Burton didn't make is which one I like. But I have not watched this on 4K yet. I'm really curious to know how great this looks. And this is the type of movie that I probably will watch around the holidays because it takes me back to a happy place, a simple time. And this movie's creepy as shit. The original Wizard of Oz is a scary, scary film. And I love it. Like, you have a house that falls on a witch. Dorothy's hanging out with 3 creepy dudes. I always wanted to be the Tin Man, though. When I was a little kid, I always thought you had to oil your joints to move, or else you'd rust up like the Tin Man. How does it look in 4K? Yeah, I don't know. I just got it. I Have a Wonderful Life, speaking of holiday films, on 4K. I've not watched this movie since I was a little kid, so I'm looking forward to kind of savoring the flavor to watch this on 4K around Christmas time. Then I have Red Heat, which is probably my least favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie ever made, with James Belushi in it. Just the most 80s movie ever made. Like, buddy cop movies were a big thing in the 1980s, and this movie just, I feel like, missed the mark. But I have not watched it in a long time, and I want to go back and revisit it and see how bad it just is. Andrew Pike asks, love your content. It's Willy Wonka. Yes, that's it. By the way, what's your thoughts on The Mandalorian? A lot of Mandalorian questions, and like I've said, guys, I have not watched the first episode of Mandalorian, but from everything I've seen with the trailers and everyone thus far giving their thoughts on it, it sounds like a solid show. It sounds like the reason I would even consider getting Disney Plus. The Average Adept. I'm dead. That was worth your money just to see the reaction. Only joking. Love your videos. Well, thanks, man. And either way, that's your freedom. You can do what you want while you watch my videos. That's your right. But thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it, man. Galaxy Quest, the Steelbook. Sigourney Weaver looking the best she's ever looked. This is a great movie. You know, this is like a fun parody film that makes fun of, the whole nerd culture, and then also makes fun of, it's sort of like a parody movie for Star Trek. I love Tim Allen in this film. I've always really enjoyed this. I know there's a lot of hardcore fans of this movie. But yeah, the Steelbook, I like it. It's nice. It's not purple, it's magenta. And a fun side story, when I was a kid, I actually had a mountain bike that was the same color. Like, my friends would make fun of me. They're like, you have a purple mountain bike. And I'd be like, no, man, it's magenta. And they'd think about their lives for a moment. The next thing I have here is Batman Beyond, the complete series. Now, this is something I really wanted because I've never watched all of the Batman animated TV series. Now, I still need to get the actual Batman animated show with Kevin Conroy, but because his voice oozes in my ears and makes me happy. But I've never really watched more than like 3 episodes of this. Do you guys like Batman Beyond, the series? I don't know. I've only watched a few episodes of it. Russ Rogers, favorite and least favorite Rob Zombie films. Thank you for the super chat, Russ. I would probably say I don't really like any Rob Zombie movies. I don't know. I don't really like Rob Zombie movies. I tried to. I remember we went to see the first Halloween remake that he made, and we were watching it, and like 20 minutes into it, we were just like, what is this? And then I saw the sequel, and I thought, this guy, this Rob Zombie as a director is just not for me. When the white unicorn came on the screen, I wanted to bash my head into the wall. So yeah, I don't really love Rob Zombie movies. But yeah, Batman Beyond. The next one I have here is Hobbs and Shaw. I have a movie review of this here on the Flick Pick channel if you guys want my full-fledged thoughts on it. It's okay. It's an okay movie, right? It's okay. Once again, this is kind of like another buddy cop vibe style movie, and I like that tone about it. I think that's the best thing going on in the film. But yeah, I need to watch this on 4K. I'm sure it looks great on 4K. The next question comes from Trig Josh. Hey, John, do you think that we will get a Force Ghost Han Solo in Episode 9? In Episode 7, Han admitted to Rey the Force was real. I recall that, but I don't think he would necessarily be a Force Ghost. I don't know. I almost hope that Harrison Ford has more integrity than to come back to be a Force Ghost in Episode 9. I don't think it's necessary. I really don't. So, but the thing about Episode 9, I just hope they don't try to redeem Kylo Ren. I don't want to see it. We don't need that redeeming character arc. We don't want it. Just be a bad guy. All right. The next one is Good Boys. Haven't watched this yet either. I want to be more excited about it than I probably am. It's just like watching 10-year-old kids cuss at each other with like very well scripted lines of profanity. I just don't buy into it. When I want to see kids actually being kids and interacting with each other and like using profanity and saying things and talking like real kids do, I just watch Stand By Me or something like that. That feels real to me. But I will watch this eventually. There's so much other stuff I'd rather watch than sit down and watch Good Boys. But hey, I own it now. And last, but certainly maybe not least, is I have The Big Bang Theory, the complete series that was sent to me. So if I want to watch 75 hours of, a sitcom show with laugh tracks in the background, this is probably what I'll watch. But in all fairness, the Big Bang Theory to me, I enjoy it whenever it's on TV, right? I'll watch it as I eat. It's like the perfect show to watch whenever you're just eating like a Subway sandwich and you don't feel like clicking around to watch other shows. So I have the complete series on Blu-ray, and I don't know if that makes my life better or what, but I will give this a watch. The cool thing about this, though, is it comes with this booklet and it has like this big pop-up thing in here that opens up with all the characters in it. How many discs is this? So you have 279 original broadcast episodes, 12 hours of extras from all the seasons. That's a lot, man. Jeez. But yeah, I have this on Blu-ray now. All right, guys. So that's going to cover all the new Blu-rays I have. Now I will read some more questions, and then I'm going to head out now before my brain explodes. I thought this was a Q&A. It is a Q&A with a bonus Blu-ray collection video update at the very end of it. The video can be whatever we want it to be. We can use our imaginations. There's no limitations here. All right, guys. I've answered a lot of these questions already 87 times earlier. I promise you I'm not skipping your questions. I've just answered them already. We've been talking for a long time right now. No Shave November, John. You don't want to see me with No Shave November. It's my facial hair grows out like this. It just won't be a good look. Victor Creed asks, why no Endgame review? That's a good question. I think at the time I don't know, man. I just didn't want to make YouTube videos at that time. I did a reaction video to it. And I gave my thoughts on the movie in a reaction video on my second channel, John Flickinger. But at the time, I don't know. I think 1 week went by, then I was like, it's already 2 weeks past due, and I was like, who's going to care about this anymore? But I do have a video coming. It's sort of like one big video with quick reviews of every movie that came out in 2019 that I didn't review, but I wanted to. So that video is probably coming out maybe at the end of November, maybe early December. So yeah, but as far as Endgame goes, man, I like Endgame. I really liked that movie. I enjoy that movie. And I went to Vegas last month, and on the plane they had TVs on the back of the seats, and they had free movies, and they had like a good selection of movies you could watch. And the one movie I watched on the way there was Endgame, because it was 3 hours long, and the flight was 4 hours long, so time passed by very, very quickly. And then on the way back from Vegas back to where I live, I watched Endgame again. So I that tells me that I enjoy the movie, that it has rewatchability. Is Infinity War the better movie? Yes, but there are some great moments in Endgame, like when Cap picks up Thor's hammer. That sends chills down my spine every time I watch it. I love it. All right, the Spartan 3001 going to see Back to the Future tonight in theaters. If you could go back in time and see a movie when it came out, which movie would it be? Back to the Future might be one of my top picks for that. I can't imagine seeing that in theaters for the first time back in the 80s. Maybe Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Like, I can't imagine being like a 12-year-old kid and watching Terminator 2 Judgment Day for the first time up on the big screen. Because the first time I witnessed that movie, it was on VHS, and I stole the VHS from my friend who lived beside me. Did you see Rocket Man? Thoughts? I watched Rocket Man, and I was not a big fan of it. I mean, listen, I think Elton John is a phenomenal musician. I guess I just wasn't in the mood for a musical based on his life. That's just not what I want to see. When I watch biopics, I sort of like straightforward biopics. And the musical aspect, I see how a lot of people would like it, but it's not what I wanted from a biopic of Elton John. Vincent McBride asks, thoughts on Aliens 1986? It's my favorite movie. And that's a damn good James Cameron film. It's probably one of the best sequels ever made. Besides Terminator T2 Judgment Day. Yeah, I love Aliens. And I love, you want to, like, nowadays we have this whole thing about like female empowerment and making women action stars. But that movie was already doing it 33 years ago, So you had Ripley in the, what was it called? The Loader. Yeah, The Loader. That was awesome. So yeah, I love Aliens. I actually have a t-shirt of The Loader on it somewhere. Any famous person you will fight? What kind of question is that? Sure. How about Logan Paul? Hell yeah, T2. I agree. Thoughts on the new James Bond? You asked that question 87 times, and I will answer it. I want to be more excited than I am. I've heard some interesting creative choices about the movie that don't really get me excited. I think Casino Royale is the best James Bond movie ever made. So I'm excited to see the movie. I just show me a trailer so I can get more excited. Until then, I'll just sort of reserve. I'll keep my anticipation to a low point. All right, guys, I'm gonna answer like a few more questions and then I'm gonna take off. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you for joining me here on the live stream. And if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. Because I feel like YouTube sort of suppresses live streams. I don't feel like they show it to everyone. I have my weird conspiracy theories about YouTube, and I don't trust them. Oscar Flores, what's your favorite Arnie one-liner, and are you and Stuckman secretly lovers? Secretly? Have you seen our videos together? There's no secrets there. Favorite Arnie one-liner is talk to the hand. Probably that. From T3, Rise of the Machines. Best one-liner ever. He also even gives, he even tops himself in Terminator Dark Fate. There's Arnold plays a character named Carl who installs drapes. That's a real thing. That's what they did with Terminator Dark Fate. Talk about like rebooting the series for a new generation. Yeah, the T-800 now installs drapery. Stupid. But there's a line that he talks about like installing drapes in a little girl's room, and he talks about stripes versus bold colors. And I thought that was one of the most atrocious things I've ever heard Arnold say. So, yeah. Oh, honestly, if I had to pick a favorite Arnold line, it might be, "It's not a tumor." Are you hyped for Top Gun Maverick? Kind of. I've never really enjoyed the original. I never loved the first Top Gun film. I just never loved it. It was sort of one of those Tom Cruise movies that he was making in the late 1980s that were very similar, directed by Tony Scott. It was Top Gun, and then you had Days of Thunder. And it was just like, here's a movie about fighter pilots, and then here's a movie about NASCAR drivers. And Tom Cruise was just like doing all of it. So I am excited. I think it'll be cool. I'm glad that they have the original cast coming back, and I'm sure Tom Cruise, who actually will be flying a real fighter jet, will be entertaining. Johnny Flickster, thoughts on the movie Up? Yeah, I have. Here's the thing. I have a little secret for all of you. I have a little secret for I never loved the movie Up. Never loved it. I'm sorry. I liked, like, the best part about the film Up were the first 10 minutes, right? And then once that house goes up, I was like, well, now we have a giant ostrich and like a villain character that I don't care about. I just thought the first 10 minutes of that movie were phenomenal. Like, if it was just the first 10 minutes of the film, I think it'd be a great movie. Beyond that, I just didn't love the film Up as much as everyone else did. Yeah, I'd rather just watch Toy Story, or Toy Story 2, or Toy Story 3, or Toy Story 4. Cobra or Over the Top? Cobra. Over the Top. I like Cobra, but Over the Top's it's my jam. Come on. Winner takes all, loser takes the fall. Fan of Rick and Morty? I like some of the episodes, but I never go out of my way to watch it. But I do enjoy some of the commentary and humor in it. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap up the live stream now. It's how long we've been talking for, like an hour and 42 minutes. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the great questions. Thank you everyone for the super chats, and thanks just for being subscribed. And if you haven't already, make sure you go watch my brand new movie review for Dr. Sleep, which is right here on the FlickPick channel. Please go watch that. I think you'll enjoy it. I give some thoughts and opinions because that's what you do in a movie review, isn't it? But as always, guys, thank you for joining me. We need to do more of these, maybe once every few weeks. I think would be enough, right? That's good enough. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.